Six Flags St. Louis has a lot of potential. That's my opinion on it. I'll just say it right away. But let's get into it. So, I went to Six Flags St. Louis for the first time a few days ago, and I will say this park was way better than I thought. I was thinking it was really bad because every time people rank this on their list, it's always like in the far, far back. And I can see why that is. But when I went there was a good little coaster collection. It was a lot of supporting coasters, but they were missing that main big coaster. But I'll get to that in a second. So I'm going to go in order real quick on just the coasters that I rode. This isn't my ranking from best to worst or anything. This is just the order that I rode it when I was there. And I'll just go over the coasters real quick. So American Thunder was nice. It was a nice little GCI coaster. But I think Prowler at Worlds of Fun was more fun. Mr. Freeze was the next one I rode. That was incredible. Mr. Freeze was really cool. The Q station, the way they let the cars go like side to side, it's super cool. The top hat that's inverted is really cool. And then the spike when you're facing just straight down at the ground, that is a sensation that you are not really going to feel on many coasters. So that was really, really fun. And the Screaming Eagle was the next one I rode, and I really liked it. People say it's rough. I really think it's really good for being near 50. It's going to be 50 next year, is what I've heard. And it's a great coaster for being near 50 years old. It's a really fun one, and it's one I would definitely recommend riding. I wish I rode it in the back seat. I rode it in the very, very front, but it was still really fun. So next up is the Boss. This one is probably their most infamous coaster, and it's not for a good reason. The Boss is very rough, but man, the layout was great. But it was too rough. For me personally, it was too rough to enjoy it, and it really sucked because it's definitely the one ride I would really like to enjoy. But there's I know some people can handle more rough rides than others, but the Boss was a little bit too much. It's one that I'm glad I went on, but I won't be in a rush to get on that again unless they redo the track. Maybe they give the whole layout Titan track, but there was just some sharp turns on that thing that really will jackhammer and mess with your head. And then you have the new family coaster, Rookie Racer. And Rookie Racer was pretty fun. It was really good, like because it's not like your little kid coaster or anything, but they can still go on it and have a good time. Like you can be super old or you could be super young. It's a great coaster and it goes around two times too. So that's really fun. And then we have the Pandemonium. And I know that's a clone for a lot of places, but this is my first time riding the Pandemonium. It reminded me a lot of Spinning Dragons from Worlds of Fun. And I mean, there's not much to say about it. Pandemonium, I think, is better. It just had a little more airtime hills and some steeper drops. So, Pandemonium's pretty cool. And then you have the River King Mine Train. This one I thought was really interesting because it was, if I'm not mistaken, someone correct me, but it's Six Flags' first coaster, and it's had an interesting history to it. But the way it was right now was cool. It had like two different lift hills and then this big drop at the end. And it was just very unique. And also the way that the seats locked, people had to like manually do it. They had to manually lock the seats and unlock it. It's just one big bar. So I'm not used to those type of coasters. And it was just really cool being on something older like that. And then you have Batman the Ride, one of the original B&M inverts. I've never been on a Batman the Ride. I've been on like two B&Ms, and it's nothing crazy. It wasn't like life changing or anything, but it was pretty quick and I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good ride. I actually didn't mind the seats or anything. It was loud. It was a very loud ride actually. Going up that lift hill was probably the loudest lift hill I've heard. And then ended off with the Ninja. The Ninja was pretty good. I don't really have much to say about the Ninja. It had like a lot of interesting loops and turns and all that, but it was almost forgettable in a way. Like I don't really remember too much. Maybe that's just because it was a long day, and by the end of the day, it was just like, all right, let's get on here for the credit. The one coaster I didn't go on is the Boomerang because it is just a clone, and I've been on the one at Worlds of Fun, and the Boomerang here has a long line, so I skipped out on the Boomerang this time. But I mean, I got a few extra rides on Mr. Freeze. I got another ride on Thunder or on American Thunder, and I got another ride on River King Mine Train. So all those, there's enough time to get some rides, and that's the thing with this park. It's nice and small, and the lines aren't crazy long, so you can go there and you know for sure that you're gonna get on some rides and have fun. One thing that was kind of like, I don't know if it was worth the wait, was the DC Hall of Justice. That superhero shooting thing, I just don't know about that thing. Like, it was cool and stuff, but if it has a long wait, then I would not really wait for it. But there is a good reason to wait for it. If you don't want to be outside, but you still want to be in line for something, just to be in line and get stuff done, then I would highly recommend to go there. Unfortunately, I did not make it onto the Catwoman whip. It looked really cool from the ground, and I would pretty much say it's got to be the most intense ride at the park, maybe behind Joker or something. And then the two other rides, we did I don't know the name of the swings there, but the chain swings, that's cool. I haven't really been on one that has been chains, like just those chains were pretty small, so I thought that was cool. And then we did the log flume. The log flume was actually really nice. So does it stack up to the other parks in Missouri? Does it beat Silver City and Worlds of Fun? I would say it goes head to head pretty well with Worlds of Fun, but Silver City is just a very unique thing on its own. And the way it's ran and the theming and all that stuff at that park, it's just really nice and unique. So I wouldn't say it beats Silver City, but I would say it can compete with Worlds of Fun pretty well, even if they don't have like a crazy hyper coaster at Six Flags St. Louis. But Six Flags St. Louis has a lot of rides and just there's always something to do, and Worlds of Fun has less coasters, and two of their coasters, actually, I think three of them, just have really long lines. Like, now, on to my quick section about the food. I didn't really have much of the food. The turkey leg was actually pretty dry. And as I was recording this, I think that was really the only thing I ate. So, not much here for the food for me. Now, the overall vibe and cleanliness of the park and the service, it actually wasn't bad. Everybody did their job right. Everybody, like the operations was pretty good. A lot of the coasters, they're running two trains, so that was nice. And not to mention, just where the park is located, it's kind of tucked in some trees, which is actually really nice. It's cool how there's shade. And I just like being around trees and stuff just overall. So the park was in a nice, cool area. Another quick thing I want to touch on here before I wrap things up is the new gold and prestige pass with the all park passport. That was the first time I used that there. I went to the one at Six Flags St. Louis because their all park passport is $55 if you get the gold and $135 if you get the prestige. So I went ahead and got the prestige, went in there. I did not get to utilize my fast pass. So just so you guys know, they're still doing flash pass as of right now. They're not completely switched over to fast lane. So you need to go find that flash pass station and redeem your one-time flash pass ticket, or else they will not let you on. At the Pandemonium, there was an empty vehicle right in front of me. They didn't even let me on because I didn't have a flash pass, even though I was a single rider and there was a line open. And it's just like, really? But anyways, that's beyond the point. The point is, just make sure you go in the front so you don't make the same mistake. And the last thing that I'd like to add here is Six Flags St. Louis going to survive in the long term? Or is it going to be one of the parks on the chopping block? Right now, I would say it's really just right in the middle. I feel like if something bad were to happen, that would be the last straw, and they would probably go ahead and get rid of it. But on the other end, if they were to relocate that Six Flags America Superman hypercoaster over to Six Flags St. Louis, I think that's what Six Flags St. Louis could really use to really make it stand out, to have a better skyline, and to just really attract just more people overall. It would be cheaper than to build one from scratch, and it wouldn't be as huge of an investment for some place like Six Flags St. Louis, to where that corporation might not want to put in that much money into that park. I'll be honest and say this isn't really the park where you need to fly on a plane and get over here and all that stuff. But if you live about, like 6 hours away or less, then that's really a good solid choice for you. Or if you happen to be within that area, then definitely go. If you're in St. Louis, or you're traveling there, then definitely go to the park because they have a lot to do. You won't be bored, and you're not going to be waiting in lines for long. So I would say just the fact that you're not really waiting in lines makes a great experience in itself. Six Flags St. Louis has a lot of potential and it has a lot of history, and I'd hate to see that park go. But if you do get a chance, definitely go. You'll have a great time. Yeah, that's the end of this video. I usually make Nintendo related content and videos, so if you guys are new here or if I've attracted some new enthusiasts here, this is mainly a Mario related channel and Nintendo content, but I do travel to amusement parks as my side hobby, and I will be posting these reviews here and there. And if you guys want more, or if my core audience, if you guys like this video, then go ahead and let me know and I'll start making more of these. But this is right now a Nintendo channel, and this is just something I like to post here on the side every great once in a while. So yeah, if you guys like this video, consider subscribing, drop a like, comment down below what you think of Six Flags St. Louis. Comment down below if you think the boss is super rough or not. And hey, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.